Dear students and viewers, in this video we will try to understand what is the difference and relation between a compressible fluid and a compressible flow. Now the idea of compressible fluid is easily understandable or conceivable. That means if you have a fluid which if it is compressed, that means if the pressure is increased, then the volume will reduce and the density will increase substantially. So that is called a compressible fluid. Now, while a fluid is in motion, how can we understand the concept of compressing it? That means if a fluid is moving, how can I compress it? So that is the idea of compressible flow. That means if a fluid can be compressed while in motion, that will be basically the idea of compressible flow simply. Now another thing to mention here is that very important thing, that is if a flow is compressible, then the fluid which is undergoing that flow must be compressible, but the reverse is not true always. Means that if a fluid is compressible, then if that fluid flows, then that flow may not be always compressible, because that compressibility during a flow depends on the condition of motion. Now one thing that we have to understand clearly, while the static fluid is there and if we want to try to compress it, that means as if we are pushing it by a piston, so the fluid is getting compressed. Now if a fluid is in motion, how can I compress it? So as if we are actually moving a piston. And what is that piston? The material which is behind that, that means upstream to that particular material, which will act as a piston, and that will keep on pressing or compressing the fluid. So that is the idea of compressible flow. If the material is compressed during its motion, then if the volume is reduced and the density is increased by increasing the pressure, that will be basically a compressible flow. Okay, another thing is that if you want to send a pressure, that means if you want to move a pressure continuously behind a flow, so that we have to understand that if we want to move that, we have to understand that how a pressure wave moves, and the pressure wave moves in the same velocity as the velocity of sound. So from that concept the sonic velocity comes. So I tried to briefly make it out to you, and the rigorous discussion depends on the mathematical calculation. Thank you.